YouTube, how y'all doing? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? We got ourselves the growing danger of streamer from FVDH. I don't know how you say his name, but you know what I mean. He got good videos. Hey, apparently I've been seeing a lot of clips of a lot of these streamers, like, you know, and I've kind of faced this myself where you focus so much on content where into the point where you don't spend time with your family and shit. You don't take time to take care of yourself, and I've had to learn this myself personally, you know what I mean. But you know, it's a stream, well, mainly with streaming, apparently, you know, it's starting to come off as digital slavery to these guys, and and I hope all these streamers are doing well at the end of the day. But you know, it's some weird shit going on within the streaming community, y'all. It's a lot of weird shit, bro.
It's occurred to me that the streaming space is getting very dangerous, and I don't just mean physically, but it seems that streaming is getting to
I seen a clip of Black Boy Max throwing up on stream, bro.
a point where it's becoming physically and mentally taxing. I know a lot of people.
It is, man, bro. In content creation in general, whether you're streaming, recording, it is so mentally, like, physically you might not, you're not really putting a lot of effort physically. All you're doing is sitting at a desk or walking around some shit. But like mentally, bro, I'll admit, even myself, even I've struggled, you know what I mean, many times mentally, you know what I mean. You just got to take time to spend time with yourself, spend time with family, at least every once in a while, just take some time for yourself. You know what I mean? If you feel like you're not feeling well, just take some time off. You know what I mean? Don't feel like, if you have to grind 24/7, then and you got to lose, contact with a lot of your family and stuff, I don't think it's worth it.
Streamers, which, okay, it makes sense. They work their own schedules. They make tons of money.
Yeah, they do.
Tons of accolades and recognition. However, the truth of the matter is that streaming, much like any other profession, has its downsides. And really, when I say streaming, I mean content creation, but we already know what has the world's gaze. But with this video, I hope to show you guys that while social media is an amazing way to make money, and it's definitely deserving of the eye it receives, it has its flaws, it has its downsides, and we may be watching your favorite streamers decay right in front of our eyes. I won't keep ambling. You already know I'm the hood Socrates. Let's talk about it. First things first, mental health. It's no secret that content creation be eating away at your mind. Dead ass. Look at me. I'm still traumatized from trying to succeed while graduating. But it's quite mentally taxing for those who just start out. The pressure of
I'm telling y'all, I've dealt with the same shit, bro. You just gotta take every once in a while. If you feel like you need to take a day off, just like mentally, you know what I mean? Like, it's one thing if you feel like, oh, I don't feel like doing it. That's different. You being on some pussy shit. But if you feel like you mentally need it, then, you should take some time off. Go to spend time with your family, man. The content creation isn't going anywhere. You know what I mean? Yeah, but and like what I've learned so far with this content shit, just take your time with it, one step at a time. Don't feel like you have to rush 24/7. If you need, if life happens sometimes, life gets in the way, don't stress yourself out over it. You know what I mean? Yeah, like, yes, success, I think, is worth it, but not to the point where you're hurting yourself and you're really just, you know what I mean? You really just, you just gotta take time. You just gotta know, when to take a break. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So, I don't know. At least that's what I've learned, bro. Just take your time with it. Have fun with it. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Failing is so immense. And
bro, I'm telling y'all, bro, you fail. You're going to fail a lot when it comes to your goal of success. It's just normal, man. You just got to learn, take failure as a lesson. Don't beat yourself up. Everybody fails. All these content creators have failed many times. I failed. It's just part of the process. That's just how I view it. I've just learned to accept that failure is normal. And, yeah, man.
You have bills to pay. A nigga cannot afford to fail. So for the average person, that can be quite tiresome. But even on the opposite end of the stick, you see the big guys
But I feel like a lot of these streamers and one thing I've noticed is that all these streamers are trying to do everything at once. They're trying to do RL. They're trying to do a dating show. They're doing this. They're doing this. Like, I think when it comes to content creation, just find things that you like to do and just stick with that. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I think that's just what we should be doing as content creators. Maybe there's other content creators watching this video. We just got to take our time with this shit and do what we love to do. You know what I mean? And if you do want to be successful, and which is nothing wrong with that. Just do it in a way where it's enjoyable for you. You know what I mean? So that when your or my time comes, we don't have to, oh, we gotta act a certain way, we gotta do this, bro. You get what I'm saying?
Becoming
I'm
increasingly
yapping.
depressed.
I'm
Fat Boy
yapping.
Max comes to mind. He's one of the biggest streamers right now, and he's been very open about how streaming has affected him. Let's start there.
When I tell y'all I was going through it, I was really going through it, bro. Like, dead ass. Like, by day 10, bro, by day 10, I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna get through the rest of these 20 days. Nigga, I'm having nights where I'm in the bathroom, like, just bawling my eyes out. Like, do y'all remember around that time when my friends was here and I'm telling them, like, I was telling them, like, if y'all had a button to press if you want to continue your life? You feel me? Y'all remember that?
What the fuck?
Like, bro, I was really on some shit, bro. I'm gonna keep it a buck, like, real life.
Oh,
This clip
bro.
was from 2024, and when I seen this, my immediate thought was that he reached
Yeah, I seen a recent clip of him him talking about he don't spend time with his family. He's distanced himself from a lot of people, in his personal life, and he feels alone. And like, I've done the same too. You just gotta sometimes, like I said, like, yes, like, I love making content. I love doing this. I love, everybody, I love doing this. I genuinely do. But there's times where, you just got to take a step back. You know what I mean? And just be willing to take breaks here and there. You know what I mean? Like, if you're just forcing it, and and that's the thing. If you believe that you have to grind 24/7 to be a successful YouTuber, then that's what your life will always be, is you grinding. Even when you make it, you always have to grind. You always got to do it. You always got to stay consistent. If you miss one day, you're gonna fail. You know what I mean? Like, that mentality is good when you're like, I think it's good for a little while, but after a while, like, you know, every few weeks, take a day off, go spend time with family, go on a trip, you know what I mean? Like, I think that's cool. Or even just chill out, even for like an hour or two. I be chilling sometimes, y'all. You know what I mean? There's a difference between being mentally, like, fucked and like, oh, fuck, I feel like shit, but it's another thing where, you're just feeling lazy and you don't feel like doing that. Now that's some different shit. You just being lazy, you just being lazy. You know what I mean? But like I said, yeah.
the level where
Let him cook. I'm yapping.
He needed more than just the monotony of being a rich, successful person. That's why we see a lot of our favorites going through bad shit like drug addictions. What are they coping with? That's what you have to ask. Amidst what should have been Max's highest, one of his high points, he was considering pressing a button to end it. And I feel like that says a lot about where his mind was at.
Was whatever day before the 24-hour, and I came home, bro. I'm gonna just keep it a buck. I came home, I was just, I just cried on my couch, bro. Like, and I don't be crying that much. Like,
Yeah, I seen this shit,
I cried on
bro.
my couch. I'm like, damn, bro. Like,
Bro, he just needs to make room for like his like personal life. I think that's what he just needs to do. I think that's the problem with these streamers. They feel like they have to stream all the time. They have to. They need to just, you know what I mean? Like, I think, even I do that shit. I be doing that shit. Sometimes I just remind myself, like, yeah, like, be doing this shit, having fun with this. And there's times where I feel like shit, like, I feel lonely. And that's usually times when, where I pray, or, or I just, I take a step back for a little bit. You know what I mean? Or you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? You get what I'm saying?
I don't
like,
even have nobody, bro. Who do I have? I push everybody in my life away. I don't talk to my parents. I'm out here in LA. Like, yeah, I got my cousin, but it's like, damn, bro. Like, what am I even doing this for? I could win as much as I want to win, but if I'm,
and another thing too is like, and you got to make a lot of sacrifices for this. Like, whatever you want to do, whatever your dreams and goals are, you gotta make sacrifices. You know what I mean? But you gotta learn when to control all this. You gotta learn when to control it. You gotta learn when to take a step back. Yeah, he too hard on himself. Even I be too hard on myself. When he just, like, I've dealt with this shit. Like, I've dealt with the same shit. I wasn't thinking about ending myself or nothing like that. Because I always believe that no matter how successful I'm gonna become, which I will become successful, that I will always feel the same with or without the money. You know what I mean? With or without the success, with or without the views, I will always be the same when it comes to just how I am emotionally. You know what I mean? I have to learn to make myself happy. You know what I mean? And that's one thing I've always been terrified of with this YouTube shit, is that I make it big and then like, I don't, you know what I mean? Then I like distance myself from my family, from my friends, ruin, get myself kicked out, or fuck myself out of relationships I could have been in. And, I did that. I could have gotten in a relationship, but I chose not to just focus on YouTube. But you know what I mean? You know what I mean? And, yes, girls do be a distraction, but it's not worth, cutting off literally every single fucking thing that you want one day. You know what I mean? Because when is it gonna stop? How much do I want to get to in life before I'm like, oh, now I want to settle down, or now I want to hang out with my family. Now I want to, like, if I have to grind 24/7 just to be successful, it's not worth it, and I shouldn't have to. You know what I mean? And that's just a mindset I have with this: is yes, grind, but take some time to go spend, learn to like have fun, go out with somebody, with some people, every once in a while, at least once a month. You know what I mean? Don't just sit in the room all the time and don't hang out with nobody. You know what I mean? Make time for people. I think I've learned that myself with this shit. I've learned that. You know what I mean? And I'm learning, and just seeing these streamers, this is my biggest fear when it comes to this content shit, is when I make it big, I'm scared of this shit happening, and I'm not going to let it happen. And yeah, man, I'm sorry, I'm yapping, y'all. I didn't mean to get so like intimate and all that shit, but these are the type of things I worry about when it comes to success in my life. Is, am I going to be spending time with more family? Am I going to, is it just going to be, because I think about that. Because even now, it's hard for me just to see my own family, because they live half a country away. I don't have all the money in the world to go and meet them. When I do get that money, am I going to spend time with them? You get what I mean? I'll get
winning with people I care about. Do it even matter? Like, you know what I'm saying, bro? And I
it
just
do matter.
Reflecting, feel me?
It do matter.
I'm like,
just give yourself time to see other people.
What am I doing wrong? Because I'm really genuinely not understanding. Like, why is there so much negative energy around me? Why do I feel like so much hatred? Like, and I just realized, bro, like, you can blame other people for your actions, but that shit all stems from you, bro. You create your universe.
Yeah.
And I'm creating a negative, like a terrible.
This was April 2025. Max seems like he properly zeroed in on where the issue was, which was a lack of genuineness around him. The air was negative and he just didn't have all his loved ones with him. Mind you, he's with FaZe at this time. He hasn't left. So that made me start thinking, what was a nigga feeling around them LA boys that had him like this?
This is why I'll never move to LA. I used to live in California. I will never move to LA, y'all. I can't do it. I might visit out there, but that's it. I can't live in LA. I can't live in LA. I can't live in California, bro. I can't. I'm sorry, y'all. I used to live there. I'm sorry, but California just, compared to where I live now, I feel way more comfortable out here than I do in California, bro. And it's not no like hood shit or no dumb shit like that. It's just people in different places move differently. You know what I mean? And I feel like in order to grow, you got to be willing to, go out of your comfort zone. If you're just stuck in the same place, and you surround yourselves like in California, I'll be honest, there's a lot of like what do you call it? Like like out here where I live, like people who live in New Mexico, I'm sorry to all the New Mexicans, they live like 3 years, like a few years before. They're not like people who live here aren't caught up with the rest of the world. Is basically what I'm trying to say. But when you're actively around people who are on like in California who are surrounded by social media 24/7, you know, you get what I'm saying. Y'all get what I'm saying. I don't know. Maybe I'm just yapping. I'm yapping,
And
y'all.
if
I'm
y'all know
sorry.
me, I've been open about it. Like I was really watching Max during my sophomore year in high school. I got a soft
Yeah.
spot for Max. I seen bro on the
Nah, bro. I love Platboy Max.
come up. What I know is that
I didn't watch him in the come up though. I didn't, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie and be like, oh, we watched him from the beginning. I didn't watch him from the beginning. I will not lie.
phase pre-LA, he was not talking like this back when he was at his crib.
Yeah, in California and a lot of these places in California, it's not authentic. You know what I mean? That's where I think it is. Maybe it's just me though.
Guys, I am a loser.
The energy in
I'm a
California
loser.
is just
I
different,
don't do
bro.
shit except sit on my couch and study shit and plan shit in my free time. I don't talk to people. It's bad. I'm gonna change that. Y'all gotta help me make friends.
This was at the very least a week old. And this is Max once again expressing that he just doesn't have anyone. He's living his dream life. He's the streamer that he wanted to be, and yet he became a loser. But it's not just Max.
And it's like, bro, I just don't know what to
You're lonely at the top. Is that what they say? Is that what they say? You know, you're lonely at the top. It's lonely at the top. You know what I mean? That's what I've always been scared of. That I'm gonna reach the top and then I'm lonely. I'm not gonna let that happen.
do with this shit anymore, bro. This just don't feel the same, bro. It's like, what do I do, bro? I'm so lost. I'm just so lost with this.
How are you?
Chat, I'm gonna see y'all later, bro. I gotta take some time. I gotta take some time to myself.
Bro, I feel bad. If he's actually dead ass, like, yo, I feel bad. Like, his chat saying this shit.
This is just
We are not gifting. Steak logo. Yo, shut up. Nah, 2K right now. PBM save us.
You got me say.
This was also
Corny.
recent. Silky is literally crying on stream,
And
talking
this,
about how
his chat not even taking it seriously either, bro. That's wild, bro.
he is. He sounds just like Max. He's living what the youth of today think is a wonderful, luxurious life, and yet he is on stream breaking down. What is that saying about content creation? And don't think I forgot Mr. DEO himself.
He went through the
Like
same
that,
shit.
bro. When y'all know when I started this, it was the most saddest point in my life at one point. And having the things that you prayed for and getting them and still feeling that feeling, it puts you in the biggest lost mental state of your life. No cap. I got broken the down by life.
And Bruce put it the best way. All of these men had everything they probably prayed for, and yet niggas still feel like shit. Mind you, the youth is idolizing these lifestyles, and I won't say all of this is on them, okay? Niggas do get caught up in the fame, but you have these super depressed streamers. Max in particular is talking about pressing a button to end it, and you have a group of kids idolizing the lifestyle they're living. That is dangerous. And that's what I mean. That type of pain breeds more
I think they just, you know, I don't know, bro.
pain.
I
I
don't
guess
know.
to a certain extent, it's almost like these
I've kind of had that feeling as well.
streamers are
I've thought about that a
inadvertently
lot.
putting this prize at the end of a race, showing people it.
They, you know, people set happy goals. You know, I'm being dead ass. People set happy goals. What I want is not a happy goal. You know what I mean? I might achieve everything I ever prayed for, but you know, what am I gonna do once I get there? Just make more money? Just do more? Or am I gonna spend time with my family, help out the people I can? I mean, both. You could do both, but you know.
And when they start the race, the prize is fucking gone. It's gone and it's replaced with nothing but emptiness. You have people giving their all to succeed in this race, thinking that the prize is gonna fill up what they gave to.
Happy goals, bro. We can't set happy goals. Yes, set big goals, achieve them. I'm with that, but we can't set happy goals. You can't, oh, when I get to this level, I'm gonna be happy. I feel like I'll feel the same now than when I do when I get there. You know, not like a bad thing, but, you know.
It, and it just never fucking does. And that's what I feel like I'm seeing right now. And it's not even just the mental health part. Physically, it's getting rough for niggas too. Biggest example right now is Charlie Kirk. Well, actually, that sounds crazy, because when I say it's getting rough for niggas, I don't mean Charlie Kirk. Actually, perfect time to talk about this. I honestly think black people need to stand up. We should not be morally grandstanding anyone about someone who is racist, and that's facts. How you live dictates how you die. And if you live hating on virtually anyone who isn't a white man, and you think you're attracting peace into your life, you are mistaken. I was not.
Yeah, that's Charlie Kirk. I didn't like a lot of the shit that he said. I didn't, you know, he said a lot of wild shit. You know, I think he is a he is a conservative right wing grifter though. Like he just is, bro. You know what I mean? I don't know, bro. It's crazy what propaganda can do to you, and not just coming from his side, that's also coming from the left too. You know what I mean? You know, he must have just attracted this kind of shit. He must have thought he was. I think the reason why he was so hard on gun crime is because he was scared of being in front of that gun as well. You know what I mean? And I think that's part of the reason why he died. Me personally, I didn't like a lot. I'm not really a big fan of this guy, but you know, he died in front of his wife and 2 kids. You know, they have to see that shit on the internet. We did not have to see that shit. Nobody in their lives is supposed to see this kind of shit. And so, I don't know, bro. It's a weird world, bro. You know, this state of everything that's going on in the world, I think is also part of the problem why a lot of people are depressed. You know what I mean?
I'm moved by the passing of Charlie Kirk, and that's how I feel. I mention it though because with the Charlie Kirk situation, he's the biggest, most notable example. But that can be misleading because he makes you think that only the extremist content creators are the ones that are subject to the backlash of the public. But it's hitting your favorite streamers as well.
About every other night around like 1 a.m., 2 a.m., midnight, about twice a week, people would come to the house super late saying that they were looking for me, and they had weapons, they had guns, and it wasn't like kids, it was like older people, which by the way, we have photos of them, the police know, etc.
Damn.
We also have security. I also have 24/7 security on me privately for the next couple months minimum, but we have more security at the house, etc. But it kind of just spooked me because I was like, I don't know how to talk about this because I don't really want to give it attention. I don't want to talk about it, but I also don't want to lie to you guys and say why I haven't been streaming, and then I just look like I'm faking it and I'm trying to, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, the internet's always gonna have its thing, but I was just very scared, and I was scared to IRL stream. And I don't know if you noticed this when me and Lacey did the arcade stream. I kept saying, oh, we shouldn't IRL stream, or
let me start by saying, Ron, prayers out for you.
I think RL stream is just getting played out in general, though.
That is genuinely horrifying.
I think that's what it is, bro.
Shit aside, I'm a human, you a human, we all some humans, and I'ma love everybody. And this is not okay. Niggas got Ron moving like Mr. President because he talking about 24/7 security. The actual crazy part is that I think this is literally the right move, especially because he can.
Oh yeah, he has to, bro.
Afford it. That's the reality we live in, where I'm agreeing that a streamer should have 24/7 security. I grew up watching,
bro, and I'm telling you guys, I've said this in many of my videos. Our country is so cooked. Like our country, our society, and our country, and just everything about our country, it's just falling apart right under our eyes. Our society, you know, you gotta be scared. You gotta be careful. Like, you know what I mean? It's rough nowadays, you know, for everybody. You know what I mean? But we just gotta, you know, at the end of the day, you know, people are gonna be people. They're gonna do some wild shit. But if you have to get security, I mean, why though? You know, like it's just why do we have to get security? You know, I don't know, bro. It's such a scary times we live in, and yeah.
Niggas play video games. Like Noob 3, he was playing Dead by Daylight. He never uttered a word about security, and that's the climate we're in right now. I also understand tiptoeing around the subject, especially because shit like this stems from a place of attention seeking, and talking about that stuff can embolden weirdos like that. And with this whole weirdo situation, they even decided to cancel some IRL segments.
That wasn't any of my business to say that was if Ron wanted to speak on it. But as you guys saw from Ron, yeah, for the past like couple months, there's been weird ass dudes pulling up to the house with weapons and stuff, threatening Ron. So, you know, that's why some of the streams have been a little
What did Ron do?
hesitant. Some of the IRL segments have gotten canceled. And you guys gotta understand, bro, that's genuinely scary because he doesn't know what could happen. Could it be a troll? Yeah, it could be a troll.
It could, yeah.
Real and be serious? It could 100% be serious, yes.
That nigga moving like Mr. President. Nah, that's crazy, bro.
And you just never know. That's why you just gotta be careful. But it does suck because I've seen Ron go from loving streaming so much to his passion slowly going away.
Obviously, a big reason we're just now finding out about all this stuff is because Ronaldo was taking a break from streaming. So evidently, the ramifications of the current space and climate are here in front of us. Very tangible.
Cancer, bro, they will still hate me, chat. Like, I gotta be very, very smart the way I move. I obviously do move really well. I have 20% security, I have police. But
oh, this nigga had the president on his fucking shit. He needs security. That nigga. Yeah, Adrian Ross. I'm oh, man.
If I'm going into, I'm not gonna sit here and I'm not gonna bait these motherfuckers anymore. I don't want smoke. You know, I don't want smoke.
This Aiden clip really puts it into perspective because we all know Aiden was one of the main dudes pushing the red pill grift during his Andrew Tate days, and to see him actually feeling discouraged from speaking that hate is a little refreshing amidst these trying times.
Yeah.
You really gotta
I'm not gonna lie, Aiden Ross was wild. And
look at it in terms of if Aiden Ross doesn't want to bait people anymore, that's a testament to just how different these times are. And I'm not gonna show this video, but there was an incident where these two streamers, Yugi and Arky, were being pressed by a quote-unquote Black Boy Mac affiliate. Not my words, just what he was referred to as. But he pushed up on Yugi and Arky wielding a flamethrower and begging for an apology. And that's just hoe. Straight up. You a grown man pushing up on other grown men with a flamethrower
he's a fucking loser.
in your hand to get an apology. Just leave, bro. You're tripping. You're just tripping. With that being said, we really just need to spread more love. And especially as we go into 2026, I'm spamming love and authenticity year round. Niggas gotta stop with the unnecessary hate. We gotta hold people accountable, and we just have to see the human in each other, because I'm a human.
We all fuck up, bro. Like, chill out.
You a human too. There's no reason for something like streaming to be that exhausting. There's no reason for people to be feeling like they're lost. And in an ideal world, people wouldn't feel like they need 24/7 security, nor would they feel like they need to be hyper vigilant. But that's just how I feel. I'm gonna get up out of here. Subscribe for more unsolicited opinions. Bye bye.
Man, that was the growing danger of streaming, y'all. You know what I mean? I think the streaming world and the state of our society is just cooked right now. Like it just really is. Our country is falling apart. We got most people have mental health problems, I think people are more lonelier than ever, you know what I mean? It's just a weird world we're living in right now, you know what I mean? I don't know. But like I also think a lot of reasons why these streamers are dealing with this is because they're trying to do too many things at once. You know what I mean? But I mean, it is what it is, bro. I mean, it's just a wild world we live in right now. It just, but look, man, I hope y'all have a good breakfast, a good night. What do y'all think in the comments? You think I'm tripping? You think I'm bugging? Hey, what is what it is, though. I hope you have a good breakfast, a good night. I love y'all, man. Peace.